Hello, Mark here. I'm going to do something a little different for you guys today. I'm going to bring you a full tour of Crystal Cave. I'm going to show you the restaurants, the shops, the museum, basically the whole entire area. You're going to get a full tour of the cave with our awesome tour guide who expertly explains all of the history of the cave. I hope you enjoy it. Oh, that's pretty cool. Magnetic rocks.
Did you know that?
How many before it falls?
Birdstone. Birth crystal.
Oh, that did it. Alright guys, we're going to get the two bats here.
Did you put the money in first?
Oh, I gotta put some money in. See that? I'm a rookie.
Keep on going.
See what it looks like here. Did I got the right side?
I don't know.
And then on the back, Crystal Cave. Very cool. Pretty cool mining for gold over here. Some sort of mining anyway. This is the little restaurant here. Beer on the wall. Looks like a little mom and pop shop here. Alright guys, to get to the cave we have to go up this giant walkway here, so making the fat man walk all the way up this giant hill, not good at all.
Please wait for your guide. You're waiting for our guide.
Well, I'm already here, so you don't have to
We don't have to
wait.
wait. You're front and center.
All right. Again, my name is Dennis. I will be your guide. A few rules before we go in the cave. 1. Anybody that has gum or candy in their mouth. Trash can, please. Any drinks. Please keep them closed, unless it's just water. No problem. We do not want any sugar to fall on the minerals. It tends to mess them up. The cave is very dry right now. There is a few places where it's dripping. Please hold on to the railings anyway. Please touch nothing but the railings, and I'll show you why in the next room. Photography. All you want, as long as it's not aimed at me. Just kidding, just kidding. Okay. The vents in the ceiling that you see were put in for ventilation, but mainly for our colony of North American brown bats. One time we had 50 or 60 bats living in the cave, and I'll show you where they used to live. As of right now, we do not believe we have any. Somebody swears they saw one the other day, and it is possible for a few to be in there. We wouldn't see them anyway because of the lights and all the activity. They would hide in where they used to live. 2006. Bats along the East Coast developed a disease called white nose syndrome. Unfortunately, millions of bats died off on the East Coast of the United States. They are starting to come back. We are seeing more and more on the property but not many in the cave, if any. Down where you bought your tickets, if you look at the front of that building, the right side is stone. That was the original farmhouse. If you look just under the roof, you'll see the soffit. There's a gap about this big between the wood and the stone. We know we have about at least 40 bats living in there right now. So we are really starting to get them back, which is a great thing. If we had a lot of bats in the cave, our cave crickets would not be here.
Cave crickets.
Cave crickets. There's a whole bunch of young'uns in there. Now these are good crickets. How many people laid awake at night listening to a cricket in their house that you wanted to smash it? These are quiet. They make no sound. So even if you had 1 million of them in your house, if you didn't see them, you would have no idea. Let's go in the cave.
Slippery.
Okay, again the cave was discovered in 1871 by 2 farmers. They're at the entrance where you walk down the steps. They were dynamiting for limestone. Farmers take limestone, grind it up, and put it on their fields. If you ever went by a farm field and you saw it was all white, that's lime. All it is. They saw the opening, they made it bigger. Came back a few days later with some rope ladders and some lanterns and started exploring the cave. The first formation they talked about is this one right here. This formation is called a dripstone because it drips from the ceiling to the floor. This formation has 2 separate parts. The top one is stalactite. I see I have somebody that can do the tour. I can sit back and relax. But you are very correct. The top is the stalactite because it holds tight to the ceiling or top. Either way, easy to remember. And the bottom is the stalagmite. Formation is thought to have been, or thought to be, about 85,000 years old. Grows about as much as a Hershey Kiss every 300 to 500 years, depending on how much rain we have. This is our upside down ice cream cone. Looks like a sugar cone here with all the melting ice cream around it. 3 different flavors. The vanilla, pure calcite, the chocolate, calcite mixed with a little bit of iron oxide, which is plain old rust. A little bit of green. You will see a lot more green throughout the cave, always around the lights. This does not belong in the cave. When you come up the hill, you go under the trees, by the weeds and the bushes, through the grass. You get plant life on your clothing. It falls off in here, again, loves to grow under the artificial light. Every year the cave is closed for 3 months, December, January, and February, at which time they bring an army of people in here. And all they do is scrub the formations for 3 months. Over here, a different formation. This formation is called flowstone. Same minerals. The water and the minerals flow down the side of the cave wall and slowly build up. Now, right here, this is very important. This is why we do not allow anybody to touch any of the formations in the cave. Back in 1871, when they started doing tours, you have to remember, there was no concrete. There was no railings. There was no steps. Actually, there was no lights. You brought the light with you. Candles and lanterns. So everybody thought, we might need good luck to make it out of here alive. So they had everybody rub right here for good luck. It was not good luck. For the formation right here, The oil on our skin mixes with the minerals, prevents the other minerals from holding together and actually eats away at the minerals. 1,000,000 years from now, this is going to look just like this, or even worse. Another thing they used to do, well, certainly you can break off a piece of stalactite and take it home as a souvenir. Notice they're all broken off, except one. They thought, well, you know what, they look just like icicles. They're going to grow back in a couple days, just like an icicle does. Not. These will grow back 15,000 years from now.
Sorry.
That looks like honey.
This is really neat.
Looks like
Honey. But it's not.
it does. You know what? You're the first person that ever said that, at least this year.
You know what I think it looks
It
like?
actually looks just like honey running down the side of the
And that looks like a clam. Like a...
bacon.
Bacon.
Ah,
Oh,
bacon.
Yeah.
I like bacon.
Honey flavored bacon.
Everybody loves bacon.
Oh, yeah.
Honey flavored bacon.
Yeah. Oh.
Love bacon and honey, so that would work. Okay, this is the smallest room in the cave. So everybody make friends with your neighbors and crunch together a little bit. From here on out, we'll be in great shape. These are called drop rocks. They fell from the ceiling about 500,000 years ago during a massive earthquake. We'll talk more about the earthquake in the next room. Later on, we will actually be walking on top of these rocks, and you'll get a good look where they fell from up in the ceiling, which is up in there. This room, the farmers called the storage room. Nice and cool in here, right?
Yeah.
Everybody know what a root cellar is?
Yep.
The farmers thought this was a natural root cellar, so they wouldn't have to dig one. So they used to keep their vegetables in here along the wall. Well, unfortunately, the mold and moisture in a cave ruined the crops 3 times faster than normal. So they stopped storing them in here. However, they left some behind. Up here we have our moldy green beans, our tobacco leaves, giant carrot, the largest portobello mushroom in the world is right here.
Oh my God.
And as we were discussing up front here, my personal favorite is bacon
Or honey.
or honey.
Honey flavored bacon. I have to tell you.
Honey, sugar, bacon. That would work.
My sister-in-law's corner looks like an angel.
That is our angel. That is the protector of the room.
Oh.
I have another one that can do the tour. Thank you. I can sit back and
All right,
relax.
I'm sorry.
If you look at, no, not a bit, not a bit. If you look at the edges of the bacon, you'll see a lot of that green. That does not belong here. This is one of the other formations that they scrub when they come in here when we're closed. This room is protected by our cave angel. Right here, you see the back of the angel's wings with all the feathers.
Yep.
The red light down in the hole. Crystal Cave is actually about 3 times bigger than what we're going to see today because of all of these side passages. This one here we can see, of course. This one actually goes back about 125 feet and comes out in the basement underneath where we just watched the video.
Oh.
If we had to, we could crawl down there, crawl through. Keyword there is crawl.
Yeah.
Open the door and get out in the basement of the video room. Again, as we move on, red light. Watch your head.
Down to the basement.
Not too bad. There is one spot a little bit, but it's usually worse first thing in the morning. That's when we go across steel bridge and down steel steps. And Of course, we're busy today, so that's pretty well done. It's not going to be three-dimensional. All right. If you look behind us, this is the drop rock. That was above your heads. My head. This is the edge of the drop rock. That was above your heads. Again, later on, we'll walk up these steps, and you'll get a good look where they fell from, up on the ceiling. This rock right here is what we call profile rock. If you look, you see a chin, a mouth, a nose, eyes, and a headdress. This is our Native American Indian chief. Okay, this room is called the Crystal Ballroom for two reasons. First, of course, the crystals. This is how Crystal Cave got its name. If you look right here, when the farmers saw these crystals, they said, "Ha, we're rich, buddy, because these are diamonds. We're loaded." They broke a piece off right here, took it to a local jeweler, and said, "These are diamonds, right?" The jeweler laughed and said, "No, they're calcite crystals, worth about as much as common table salt." Calcite crystals, that's all they are. Over here, then they saw these big ones. They broke two pieces off here. These are aragonite crystals. Took it to the same jeweler, said, "What are these worth?" And he laughed twice as hard because they're worth about half as much as common table salt. The importance of aragonite crystals is they only grow underwater, which is one of the reasons we know this cave was flooded for millions of years before it started to rise up and drain out. The ballroom, where you bought your tickets. That part of the building was built in 1874 as a hotel. You have to remember, back then this was the middle of nowhere. You had to come by train and horse and buggy to get here. The tour took several hours, not just the 45 minutes it takes today. So the people would spend the night, mostly adults. Now there's no air conditioning and no TV. So they would come in this room at night and have dances and parties. Over here is where they had the band set up. And yes, it was the original rock band. See, rock. And yes, the name of the band was Crystal. Keep going. A real band.
Rolling Stones.
Who said that? Good job, buddy. The Rolling Stones. There's one more, and it's really bad. Over here is where they had that concession stand built that you saw in the video. It was a bar and refreshment center for the people that were coming in here to have a good time. We also had 3 baptisms and 3 weddings in this room. First wedding, 1919. And you saw their smiling faces in the video. He wasn't smiling because his bride-to-be, Marion Kurtz, insisted on having a piano. Brought in here for one song, the Wedding March. They paid 4 men to haul not just a piano, a 1,000-pound full-size grand piano up that lovely hill, which was dirt, in through this opening along here, which was mud. Set it up over there where the band normally played. They had a little boardwalk set up over there. The wedding march lasts about 4 minutes and 57 seconds, at which time they haul the piano back out of here. You could not leave a piano in here because of the dripping water, the moisture, and the mold would ruin the works of a piano. Now those 4 men did get paid well. They each made 25 cents. Nowadays it's just slightly over $7. Nowhere near enough, at least for me, to haul a 1,000-pound piano up and down that hill. Last wedding, 1993, 2 tour guides fell in love. They asked the owner at the time if they could get married, and here the owner said no. Why? We don't know, that owner is gone, we have no idea. Well, one of those tour guides had the key for the door. They found a minister snuck in here in the middle of the night and got married. On their way out of the door, the owner was standing there and fired the both of them on the spot. Only a year and a half later, they got a divorce. And here it comes. Guess you could say they had a rocky relationship. Sorry, I'm sorry. We're 125 feet below the surface. It's 54 degrees in here. All year long. 365 days a year. It is 54 degrees in this room. A little warmer at the top, a little cooler behind us. Where you see that red light. This is called Devil's Den. And this is where our bats used to live. As we move up the steps, you'll see another red light and a yellow sign. Watch your head.